If you're building lineups without telling yourself a story on a night like tonight, you may be in trouble. Hey, you're watching the Perfect Lineup Showdown Edition, where Josh Engleman and myself, Dave Loughran, look to take down a tournament with a very lineup built right here in this video. And as always, single lineup sims do the rest of the work after I add the first few players into it and weave a little tale and a story, a narrative, how I think we need this to play out in order for this to hit. And I tell you what, with a slate like this, 11 and a half, 12 and a half point spread, you are going to need to tell yourself a story. You're going to need to spin a narrative for how this game plays out, because the Bills can win this in a multitude of ways. Or you know what? Sounds unlikely, but it could stay close. And we're also going to sim a few lineups. Actually, we simmed one already, absolute banger, that's going to go exclusively onto tails. If you're not there yet, it is our picks platform, our betting platform, a DFS platform where everything on there and the free picks feed is in fact free. If you want the link in the description will take you there. Take literally 2 seconds to create a free account. You can do it with with Apple, Google. You don't even need credentials. Create a free account. Follow whoever you want, like myself and Josh Engleman. Get these lineup builds tossed right in there without having to do anything else or even watch a video. And if you haven't done it, again, that's all you have to do. Come hang out with us, sweat all of the bets for free, get these DFS lineups and content for free as well throughout every week, and we will see you over there. Make sure to say hi and hit that fire emoji when it pops up. All right, let's get into it. So we've got an interesting build that I want to go with today before turning this over to Josh. There's a lot of ways you can spin this. You know, I already, over there on Tails today, threw 3 same-game parlays up, and every one of them is different. On the surface, it may look like they're going against each other, but they kind of are, because I want to tell different stories. I could see Buffalo going in and routing Miami with a heavy ground attack. I could see Josh Allen just spreading the ball out and picking apart a terrible secondary through the air. You could see Buffalo's defense doing damage here. Or you could see, believe it or not, I know it sounds improbable, but it's possible, Miami keep this close. And how do I think they're able to keep it close? One way. Now, it doesn't mean there's only one way, but I think this is the most likely ways that they can keep it competitive. And that right there is through the run game. Look, Ed Oliver's out. Matt Milano's out. Does that completely, turn this does it neuter this defense entirely? No, of course not. But we have seen, not just in week 1 against Derrick Henry, who is a different type of running back than Devon Achane, but that's besides the point. And also last season, they struggle against the run game. They also struggle against pass-catching running backs. No team last year allowed more receptions, targets, or receiving yards to opposing running backs. So you can see where I want to go with this, right? I want to slot Devon Achane into the running or into the captain spot. And the reason is twofold. One, if Miami manages to keep this close, it's probably going to be because Achane is finding holes on the ground against what can be at times a very inferior run defense for the Bills. And 2, because even if they're playing from behind, Buffalo has a good secondary. They have a good pass rush. They're going to bring pressure. Who's going to be the safety valve? Who's going to get those opportunities in the passing game? Sure, you'll look to Hill. You'll try and get it to Waddle. But Devon Achane seems like he is, in a sense, game script proof. He's expensive, but not too expensive. And even with Jalen right back, do we really think that he might not even be active? So between Ollie Gordon and Jalen Wright, there is only one answer. It is Devon Achane in the captain spot. Now in the 2 flex spots before Josh finishes out the final 3 and also cranks up the randomness to see what else we can get. Like I said, over on Tails, we did run one with a massive sim ROI. I think you will like to see that. So come check it out. I want to go with a couple spots here and tell the same story. Want to go Josh Allen, because if Devon Achane is active on the ground and dominates on the ground and scores, you're going to start seeing more urgency out of Josh Allen. Now, to be fair, he's never lost at home to the Miami Dolphins. And since 2019, he is 12-1 against the Dolphins straight up, which is crazy. Granted, one of those games was in the postseason. It was Skylar Thompson and not Tua, but the point remains he's dominated them through and through. But many of these games have been competitive, even some of them in Buffalo. Josh Allen is going to get the job done, whether they're up by 30 or whether this is a 1-score game going into the final 2 minutes of the fourth quarter. So lock him in. And then, yes, we could go James Cook here. You could go Khalil Shakir. You could go Keon Coleman. We could take a lot of different approaches with this. No doubt about it. But the way I want to go in this one is Ty Johnson. Why? Because even if it's a modestly large field tournament, 5, 10,000, or it's the lotto that you're playing, oftentimes you're going to have to do some things that stand out, that are a little bit different than the field. And in this spot, Ty Johnson getting minimal ownership, $1,600 in the flex, allows us not only to get to Devon Achane at captain and to Josh Allen in flex, and potentially we'll see what the single lineup Sims gives us, potentially even James Cook in this lineup as well. Well, I see a reason for that. He's played 33 and 25% of snaps, so 28 and 19 snaps over the first 2 games. And while his usage overall has been quite minimal, only 7 touches total, at 1,600, knowing that McDermott likes to get Ty Johnson involved, and on these showdown slates, he has those random rogue touchdowns, I want to plug him in, free up salary cap, and give Josh a ton to work with going into the final 3 spots. That's what we've got. Turn it over to Josh. And before we do, if you want to get a free, you didn't think I was going to forget this, did you? If you want to get a free week of the Sims Max, right? One lucky person's going to get it. And if more than one of you guess, we'll spin the wheel on Monday's Showdown show. All you have to do is guess the highest scoring player on DraftKings under $5,000. You might want to get creative, because if you're the only one to guess it, there is no wheel spin. You're just locked into a free week. Under $5,000, flex pricing on DraftKings, most fantasy points, and let's see what you guys can do.
Now we're here to build out our lineups using the single lineup sim and the plays that Laffy just gave you. But before we get into it, I got to hit one thing. Back on Monday, we did this video and we had a giveaway in the comments section of the video, and no one got it. I believe Miller was the man that you needed to guess. No one had it. Even if you went to the defense side, no one had it. So today is going to be a little bit different. Make sure you're getting the good guesses in. You don't want to miss out a chance to get some freebies at Stokastic.com. But here we go. Achane in at captain. Thank you, Laffy. Josh Allen in at the flex. Ty Johnson in at the flex. We have 3 more spots to fill out. $6,600 per spot. Now, the first lineup we're going to do, 0 randomness. These are the 3 optimal plays that fit to what we have right now, and we find those just by clicking complete this lineup. This ends up giving us a 4-2 Bills stack. Again, Achane in the captain spot. We get Josh Palmer, we get Matt Prater, and then we get Tyreek Hill. That fills it out. We leave 200 on the table. 95.5 projection, 193 ownership. We'll click run lineup simulation to see how it grades out. And that doesn't look too bad at all. 175 sim ROI, a 0.5% chance to win, and a 43% cash rate. We ended up with a pretty nice lineup here, but we don't just have to look at it like this. Let's see what happens if we add a little bit of randomness. I'm going to take those guys out. We're going to keep Achane. We're going to keep Allen. We're going to keep Ty Johnson, but we're going to put 15% randomness on to see what the lineup looks like then. So now we have 15% randomness, same guys that we started with, but now Dalton Kincaid is in this lineup. Matt Prater stays in the lineup, and instead of Tyreek Hill, we end up with Tua. That spends all of our salary. You can see the projection and the ownership at the bottom of the screen. What will run lineup simulation do for us here? Better? Worse? Who knows? Turns out, for this one at least, a little bit worse, but still awesome. 112 sim ROI, a 0.3% chance to win, and a 40% cash rate. 2 solid lineups right out of the gate. Are you looking for one more? The final lineup is here, but it's not that easy. If you want to know who's in this lineup and how well it graded out, come check me out on Tails. Head to oddshopper.com, head to the expert picks in the Tails section, or just click the link in the description and head right to it if you want to unlock this final lineup. Totally free, not going to cost you anything, but if you want the results to this lineup, go check it out on Tails. I think it's probably the perfect lineup.